tracking the most important 5 steps that if you need to apply for PhD programs in USA or any other country, probably if you want to apply for masters, PhD, or even for the undergrad scholarship, that's the same procedure. So stay with me, so you will learn what are the 5 major steps that you need to do if you want to be a good applicant for the PhD. So the first one is to choose the institute or the program that you are really interested in. So figure it out, what are your interests and what are skills that you have, what are the previous experience you have with that specific field, and then figure it out which university actually giving a program with that you really interested in. Another thing you have to figure it out is that whether that university houses the faculty members who are doing research related to the study or the program that really want. For example, if you want to do like a, if you want to do like a biology PhD, and thus that your institute is actually offering biology PhD, and is there any specific field that you want to do? For example, if you want to do like cell biology, is there a professor who is actually currently working on the research related to cell biology that you can really work with that person? So you have to figure it out, those kinds. And other thing is when you're applying for a university, so you have to figure it out what are the my skill set and how that actually applicable when you're applying for a university. For example, I'm not a really smart person, or I'm not a that smart guy who can apply for a Harvard or Yale or like that kind of university. So and that my with my point, I know the skill set I have, of course I have, I will never get a chance to get into university like that. So I never even try. But if you think you have that skill set, if you have scores for that, you can apply for this university. Like there's no restriction for that, you can apply. The only thing that's worst scenario, the thing that's going to happen is they will reject your application. You will use your money for the application, and when you, because you're sending exams and scores and everything, that's all cost money. That's the worst scenario that's going to happen, but still you can apply. Thing is, it's really competitive, and I don't want to waste my money, because since I know that I'm not going to get a chance to even get into the Harvard or Yale or university like that. So that's why I decided with my qualification I should go with the medium range universities, and then I'll apply this university, and I know this probably have a chance that it will going to cover my whole PhD program with the cost and everything. So that's why I applied this kind of university. So it's up to you, and you have to figure it out with your skill set and with your scores and everything, what kind of university you can actually apply. That's the potential. That's a potential to they can cover you. And the next step is the starting application process early as possible. I have no words to explain how important that is. It's better if you can start early as possible, because it takes time, because PhD program is around vary from 6 to 8 years, and if you think you can apply for that program within 6 to 8 days, it doesn't work. It's a huge process, because you are doing exams, you need to scores for that, like a range of scores that really matters, and you need to get the recommendation letters and everything. This take time. And for example, if you want to apply for a 2020 spring, if you say the deadline for the application is usually laid on around 2019, November of 2019. So if that the deadline, you have to start the application process around April or May of 2019. And even before that, you probably have to start doing your exams and all, because then you have enough time to redo exam if you want. For example, if you don't have enough GRE scores that your university is asking for, then you have a time to do GRE or the TOEFL or IELTS again, and getting the enough scores to apply. or if you want to do a publication, if they are asking publication, so you have time to do that too. That's why you need to apply early as possible. And remember, this is really competitive, because even the American students, they all want to get into PhD program. They all like, if it is going to cover bills, it's really expensive and nobody wants to pay in your pocket. So you need to know that's really expensive and it's competitive, and it's better to start early as possible. So the third step is for the asking recommendation letters. So if you're asking for recommendation letters, you have to ask the recommendation letters from a professor or a lecturer who really knows you. So the thing is, the professors or the lecturers, they are extremely busy in their schedules. So if you are asking to a recommendation letter, it's really better to ask 1 or 2 months ahead and remind them one or two eyes, because they are busy people and they may forget. So you have to remind them one or two eyes, and they have enough time to gather thoughts about you, and they will write a good recommendation for you. Most of the time, the professors, they really want the better future for you. They usually give you a good recommendation about you. And it's really unwise if you're asking for a recommendation letter for 1 or 2 weeks before and asking them to do it. Like, it's really unwise and unethical thing to do, I think, because they need the time to gather their thoughts and write a good recommendation letter. And the fourth one is the personal statement. So the personal statement is, they are asking to write a personal statement. That means they are asking to elaborate the why you actually select this specific study or program, why you specifically you're selecting this university, and what you really going to achieve during this period, and what you're going to do after you finish the PhD program, and what are the experiences or the skills that you have in order to be a good candidate for PhD. So again, I need to remember, American students also apply for this PhD program. They have an advantage, because in the committee there are professors who are in the university, and some students who already did their undergrads, who American student or any other students in live in America, like who actually learned or the study in that university. They probably know these professors or the lecturers before apply the PhD program. And then that's you, you have no clue who those people are, and they have no clue who you are. So your personal statement should be really strong to imply that you are a strong candidate that can actually apply for PhD or master program, and it's a good choice to do, and it's a good decision they should make. Like, then, because you are already in that with that disadvantage, because you don't know these people personally and they don't know you, you have to show that you are really capable of doing that through the personal statement. So you have to write what are the skills you have, what are the experiences you had before with that specific field, and why you're really interested in that professor or in that research program or that study program that you are looking for. Like, you have to elaborate everything on that personal statement. And that's another important thing. And the fifth one is preparing for the GRE. So if you are applying for a university in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or any other, Germany or any other country, you don't need to do GRE. But if you're applying for a USA, you definitely need to do GRE. If you don't know what is GRE, it's exam that actually looking for the skills that you have, knowledge you have for the English proficiency, vocabulary, maths, analytics, and stuff like that. So in that, so they are actually measuring, they are looking at your application, and they are looking at your GRE profile, like the exam grades and all. So you need to have good scores in order to get a good candidate for the PhD program. So most of students do not take enough time to study the uh, GRE or getting ready with the past exam preps or getting ready with the GRE exam, or do not have enough time to do if once or twice if they want to do. So take time with the GRE, like have a time in the every single day in your schedule to do GRE test or a GRE preparation, like do maths stuff, do English vocabulary stuff, like remember the words or anything like that's related to the GRE. You have to figure it out, like you have to get in ready for the GRE exams, I would say 1 year ahead, because it's a time consuming thing and you have to get in prepared to use to it if you don't know anything about that specific maths or the English. And most of us, including me, the English is not our first language, so it's really difficult to the vocabulary and everything in the GRE. So maths probably easier for us because I found it's easier for me compared to the English. uh, the when I asked with my colleagues who are the American student, they even told me that English vocabulary in GRE is kind of hard even for them. So it's no wonder why it's really hard for us. So get your time and ready for these exams. So and another bonus point I want to tell you. So most of you guys think that you probably need a master before apply for a PhD. That's actually not true. If I think about me, I didn't have a master, so I just had my undergrad, but I had a like research experience and publications and scores. That's why they actually give me a chance, but I never had a master degree. So I'm not the only one that like that. So there are people, students who can actually get into PhD program that will save your time, and you don't need to have a master's. But if you have a master, that's additional value to your curriculum, but the CV. But you can still apply and you will be selected if you have other qualifications. You will select the PhD program. So I have no doubt with that because I applied without any master's degree. um, so figure it out, like it's depend on the university you are applying, and the institute you are applying for probably change with the study of program you are applying for. But most of the time these 5 steps going to be same for every study program that you are applying for the PhD or a master's or even for the undergrads. um, and I hope this may be helpful for you, and see you in the next video.